I seen the lightning strike the mountain.
A bolt of lightning and the fire it sparked put this tiny Arizona town in the headlines.
We were all scared to death when the fire came.
10 years after that tragedy, a journey to this community will fill your heart with places that honor that backstory. You can see and feel a sliver of the struggle that cost 19 firefighters their lives.
You can see what they had to go through to fight a fire. It isn't just flat ground.
Stand where they stood. See and hike the landscape that defined their final showdown against the flames. Yarnell was on the map as far back as the 1860s, when Arizona was a territory and not yet a state. But the wildfire here in 2013 is probably why you might have heard of it. There are hills here, hills that first brought gold miners, and later people looking to escape some of Arizona's summer heat. Summer thunderstorms can bring relief. They also bring danger.
So we were all out watching the rainstorm come in, but it was all lightning and no rain. And that's when it struck the top of the mountain. We seen the little puff of smoke. 2013, June 28th, it was approximately about 4 to 5 p.m. is when the lightning struck.
Jared Walsh is now the ranger who honors and retells that story here at the Granite Mountain Hotshots Memorial State Park.
It was around 5 p.m. on the 29th that the fire grew to about 500 acres. And it was working down the mountain. The fire was pushing north because of our southwest prevailing winds. It's a constant here. The morning of June 30th, you could tell that it was starting to get hectic. You could see the DC-10s, the big VLATs were making their rounds. They were so low that you could feel like you could reach up and touch them. You watch an aircraft that's hauling 3,000 gallons of liquid nose into a fire, disappear, and come out the other side. It'll make your hair stand up. Next thing you know, my neighbor's tree is on fire. So that's kind of a testimony to how quick that fire was moving. Just imagine you sitting at a stoplight and you look left, you look right, you're good. You do it one more time and there's a fire there, like right on you. That it was no longer pack your bags, it was get out of Dodge. And it was moving pretty fast.
It came on two fronts. It went around Boulder Mountain. It came from the east and came from the west, and it captured us right in the middle of it.
He is now retired, but on that day, Fire Chief Bob Brandon was on the other side of the spreading flames.
When the fire came, it was pitch black with red fire lacing through it, and you could not hear each other. We were in the cab of my tender, and we're shouting at each other. Fortunately, my guys, when they came out of where they were cutting, there was a wash. They got down into that wash, and they ran at a low profile, and the fire was just a sheet going across the top of them. And I understand that one of my firefighters caught his hair on fire doing that. And they managed to get out.
19 young men, firefighters of the Granite Mountain Hotshots, would be trapped by the charging flames. These video clips of the team were made a year before the fire. We see them here practicing the very same skills that would become their last actions as they fought to survive.
That wind was 50, 60 miles an hour, so you can imagine what it's like trying to put a shelter on and clean an area out around you and dive to the ground.
Unable to outrun the fire, they bravely cleared thick brush with their tools and chainsaws, then deployed their individual fire shelters against the heat and smoke. None would survive.
And to be 100% honest with you, I was in disbelief. I didn't think that there was any way that a little old fire in little old Yarnell could take not just one life, but 19.
Now, 10 years later, a visit to Yarnell lets you feel and understand the tragedy and bravery of the Granite Mountain Hotshots. One is this state park. Here you can see and understand their sacrifice with your eyes and heart, but also with your legs and lungs. 2 hiking trails where you'll be breathing hard and taste just a bit of the terrain that can make wildland firefighting so demanding and so dangerous.
The day after the fire, APS brought out a flagpole and flew the flag at half-mast and had a flag folded up in a box they set at the base of it. Now that's like the beginning of it all. That's the first sign of a memorial at the fatality site. And that was APS who did that. All of it was donation. All of it was come together to get this done with one focus in sight. Build a park to honor the men. Nobody really wanted this to be a day-use park. They wanted this to be a trail to hike, to earn the experience. They want to put you in the position of the hotshots. Hike 7 miles, you know, do it in a rugged terrain. We prefer you don't do it in the heat, but if you happen to do it when it's hot out, you're definitely in the mindset of what the hotshots went through.
As you walk this trail, you put a face to those 19.
If you come here with intentions to hike the entire trail, you're going to be doing 7 miles with about a 1,750-foot elevation gain. It's going to take you anywhere between 3 to 4 hours, and we recommend to bring anywhere between 2 to 4 liters of water depending on the time of year. Now, what are you going to see here? When you're hiking the trail, the 19 plaques along the way guide you up. They're in order of seniority. Now, as you're reading these plaques, you're personalizing yourself with who these men were. So when you get to the last plaque and you come around the corner and you see the ground that these men fell on, it hits you a little bit harder, a little bit closer to home. So now you have the tribute wall that is up there at the observation deck. That's the 2.5 mile marker. That's where firefighters, first responders, military, hiking groups from around the world leave a part of their organization behind to represent their honor that they're here to pass on to the Granite Mountain Hotshots. So at that point, you drop down another 500 feet, a mile down to where they lost their lives. And that's where a lot of people spend some time reflecting.
In the fire business, we have arduous and moderate. When we have to do our pack test every year to prove that we can still do this job, it's a 3-mile hike. And if you're doing it moderate, there's a different time than arduous. Well, this is arduous. This park here on the hill is arduous. I couldn't do it. I could not do this hike. Wildland firefighters are a different breed. They're tough. They live to do what they're doing.
If you're not up to the effort that the Granite Mountain Hotshots Memorial State Park Trail presents, stay put. We'll show you the other place you can go to pay respects without getting out of breath. Plus, what you might eat and where you can shop and sleep on your stop in Yarnell. Arizona Highways TV is brought to you by APS, making every day brighter, and the Arizona Office of Tourism.
The passion was the town. I wanted to bring this town back to a piece of what it used to have, where you could go out to eat. You know, where you didn't have to drive to Prescott or Wickenburg to go get food or go get a drink or whatever you wanted.
Welcome to Gilligan's. Gilligan's Pizza, not Gilligan's Island. But yes, owner Chris Crane says the goofy old TV show is part of the inspiration here.
Gilligan's Island, the theme, it's always a happy vibe. Everybody laughs when they think about Gilligan's Island. So he said, well, what about Gilligan's in the mountains? So that's where we come up with the name. Before the fires and everything, we had such a cool vibe in town. We had all these cool places, and then it kind of disappeared. So my goal, I've been in construction my whole life. My goal was to start building homes again, which we do now here. And I realized that without a place for everybody to get together, nobody's gonna want to come buy homes here. The most popular pie we have is the kahuna, which is the all-meat pizza. Our second best will be the barbecue chicken. So it's a regular barbecue pizza with jalapenos, vegetables, and barbecue sauce all over the top of it.
There's more than just pizza. Try the Volcano Bloody Mary.
18-ounce Bloody Mary, and it comes with a breakfast sandwich on top. It comes with 3 meats, 3 cheeses, pickles, olives, and it's our homemade Bloody Mary mix. And we were all in Laughlin one day. We went to Bumbleberry Flats, and they make it with a chicken and waffle, the whole night. It's this big. And we said, well, we need a signature drink, and we kept going back and forth. I said, you know what, let's make a Bloody Mary. And ever since then, they sell like crazy. People come from all over to get them. I like our kickin' corn and our mac and cheese. Every recipe here we invented. We food trialed it for months. Our sauces, everything's made from hand here. We make our own dough. We slice our own cheese, grate our own cheese. We make everything from scratch, including the mac and cheese. So it is 6 cheeses. It is just crazy good. You can't even eat a plate of it because it's so rich. You know, serving good food and making people happy. That's what it's about right there.
Here's all my properties.
The vibe that we go for is that we're extremely customer friendly.
Take a look at a few things inside this Yarnell storefront. So, is this a museum, boutique, antique shop? Owner Ed Williams says Emporium.
You're in the Yarnell Emporium, right downtown Yarnell. The reason why we called it the Emporium was because we have a whole selection of gifts for everybody. We have yard art, we have custom lamps, furniture, accessories, women's apparel.
So you know me, let's start with the clothes.
We carry a line of Sabaku artwork clothing for women. They're based in Tucson. It's a husband and wife team.
Prowl this Emporium at any time of year, but if you can, make your stop during the fall and winter months. For the holidays, they go maximum Emporium.
And the whole store, inside and out, is decorated to the max for the holidays. And we start about October 15th, and it runs right through till the end of January.
For housewares, inside or out, you'll find stuff here you won't see even in trendy big city malls.
We have a local artist, Pat Bernard, that builds the fireplaces and the custom bird baths, and they're all one of a kind.
Like these lamps.
Those are made by an artist in New Mexico, and each one is unique. They're turquoise on both sides of the lamp, and all the shades are custom made.
Maybe you need to sleep on it before you decide what to buy. Fine. Yarnell Emporium even has a couple of cozy places set aside for you to spend the night.
So we have 2 bunkhouses available. That we have a cottage across the street that's a single family home that's amazing. So we get people that the husband comes up and he either hikes the trail or goes on a bike ride, and the wife comes in to shop. People ask me all the time, you know, what is the best seller? And, you know, if it doesn't sell in one location, we move it to another location and it sells. So everything that you see pretty much sells. We're always on the hunt for new merchandise, though.
It's a place that's nice and quiet for people to come and relax.
Many Christian faiths look to the Stations of the Cross to tell the story of the last hours of the life of Jesus.
This is the shrine of St. Joseph of the Mountains.
There are 14 stations, each one depicted here in beautiful white sculpture.
It was constructed back in the 30s. People that are devoted and know the Stations of the Cross understand each one.
Whether you're religious or not, you'll appreciate the sculptor's skill and devotion. Chuck Tidy says the artist was Felix Lucero. Lucero traveled to Yarnell from Tucson to create this work.
And you've got to remember that was in the Depression. So Felix was happy to get a job.
Lucero had survived after being wounded and left to die on a battlefield in World War I. He made a vow that if he survived, he would devote the rest of his life to making these religious sculptures. A similar garden park with his work exists in Tucson.
You have to meander your way up the hill behind us. Not a strenuous walk.
The Yarnell Hill Fire of 2013 even did a bit of damage here. Flames crept up to and slightly over the edges of the shrine.
It burnt the back of some of the crosses, but not the front. And then you get up to the crucifixion at the very top of the hill, and it burnt that cross totally. And they've replaced it, and they've also replaced the other ones that had burnt on the back. Locals bring people here, and it's known throughout as a place for devotees to come.
Every day, helping, caring, supporting. Every day at APS, we're here to help with bill assistance and more when you need it most. Lower your bill with our Energy Support Program. Qualified customers save up to 25 or 60% every month. Pay down your bill with Crisis Bill Assistance and other programs and resources. Learn how you can get help with your bill at aps.com/writer.
This is like that diner, that down-home feel when you come in.
It's homey. You feel like you're going in your grandma's kitchen when you come in.
Time machine for your taste buds.
It's been here since 1940, and this was a major truck stop. It used to be a really booming town.
Ranch House Restaurant was standing and serving up great grub during and long before the big fire. They still do.
It's very important to the community because it's one of the only restaurants now. I've lived in Skull Valley my whole life, and everybody grew up here eating at this restaurant, and so it's just kind of iconic, you know. It's been here 83 years, and so everybody that's local from around here grew up in here as a kid. It's American food. It's, you know, hamburgers and French fries and pancakes.
I had it was like a breakfast burrito with tomatoes, onions, chilies.
Everybody loves it. Greasy food, it's good.
You got to get the onion rings, because they're, you know, best in the area.
It's great food. Everything's homemade, just breakfast and lunch. We're open from 7 to 2.
We really needed a park in town other than the state park.
Just as not everyone has the grit to be a wildland firefighter, not all of us will have the stamina to tackle the Granite Mountain Hotshots Memorial State Park hiking trails.
Mainly, it was because not everybody can make that hike. And you got to remember that all 19 of those guys had parents, and they can't make that hike. They had grandparents who also couldn't.
A circuit of images and descriptions are laid out to immerse you in the details of the tragic story. It is a place to pay respects without getting out of breath.
So they were goofing around, they formed a human pyramid. And we wanted that picture because it shows them laughing. And we just wanted a nice, serene place. It's a memorial park. As you go around, you'll notice bricks, and we sold the bricks to help fund the park. We've got the observation deck, so those who can't walk down but still want to see it can. We tell the whole story of the 2013 fire. We all recognize that the 19 died. That was a hard thing, but what never got publicized was we lost 127 homes. And that's 127 families that lost everything except whatever they grabbed as they left. We wanted to tell that story.
Arizona Highways TV is brought to you by APS, making every day brighter, and the Arizona Office of Tourism.
Subscribe to Arizona Highways Magazine. One full year, 12 issues, is just $18. That's $6 less than the regular price. Visit ArizonaHighways.com, click on subscribe, and use promo code SPECIAL.
Arizona Highways Television is a Sewell Media Group production. For more information, go to sewellmediagroup.com. For more Arizona Highways adventures, hidden Arizona treasures, and fun behind-the-scenes stories, follow AZ Highways TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Every day, savings, energy efficiency, rebates. Every day you have ways to save energy and money. Schedule a home energy checkup for savings recommendations tailored to your home. Find rebates on smart thermostats, appliances, and more at the APS Marketplace. Compare your rate plan options and switch to the plan that would have saved you the most money. Find ways to save at aps.com/brighter.
Meet Heather Dennis. You could say she works on a farm. That sound is crickets. You see, the dinner bell has been rung here at the spider farm. The tarantulas, yes, tarantulas, are hungry. Most any insect will do, but crickets seem to be a favorite.
Sometimes one of them crawls out of the lid and it's like, okay, quick, stand up before it crawls on your clothes.
One cricket can keep a spider fed for days.
They start as babies and then they're going all the way to adults.
Heather works for owners Chuck and Anita Christensen. The couple is in the business of raising spiders and other poisonous creatures. At times, the Christensens will have as many as 75,000 spiders living in the house with them. It's all happening inside this modest home here in the tiny Arizona town of Yarnell.
It's often hard to explain what we do and why we do it.
Not just tarantulas, but many other varieties of spiders, including Arizona's dreaded black widow, with her telltale red hourglass figure on her black body.
Spiders are something you need to respect.
The black widows are fed maggots.
Some spiders can kill. There's a lot of spiders out there that we don't know what the venoms are capable of doing. And sometimes that can cause some serious problems that can last for years.
Now it's milking time on the spider farm. A tray of waiting tarantulas.
I've never had a serious bite, okay? I mean, that's something that actually landed me in the hospital, okay? But I've probably had, I'm guessing, maybe a few thousand spider bites, scorpion stings, centipede bites, whatever. But most of them are trivial.
Carbon dioxide bubbling through these tubes acts to knock the big hairy spiders out. While they're under, Chuck hangs their fangs over the edge of this tube and then applies a little electric shock. And presto, venom.
If you calculate out per gram, like a black widow venom, okay, might be a few $1 million, okay, per gram, okay? But nobody will ever buy a few $1 million worth of black widow venom, okay? They might buy a few $100s or maybe a few $1,000s or something like that maximum. And that's a lot of work just to produce that amount.
The spider venom is valuable because drug companies think it'll be the next big thing.
For example, new ways or new ideas, techniques to stop atrial fibrillation, heart attack, block epilepsy, bladder control, pain. Pain is a very big topic right now. And there's a lot of stuff that spider venoms have that can reduce pain. But the discoveries, okay, if a pharmaceutical makes a discovery off of that, it could really be worth billions and billions of dollars, easily.
The scariest part of my job is, probably working with the tarantulas, because the smaller spiders are they're small.
The Christiansens say they don't worry much about these little killers getting loose inside their house. Their security team, these common daddy longleg spiders, they can catch and kill a black widow. So think about that next time you sweep your house clean of all those cobwebs.